And so they don't feel so separate and apart because they no longer feel like they have a deficit that they have to make up for.
So another thing that makes effective teachers effective is, they're interactive, giving those hands-on experiences, but also framing goals as tasks. And, framing goals are important because it kind of sets that purpose and expectation of what they're going to be learning. And I don't know, like, if you guys have a specific, like, format you have to, like, form your objectives or learning targets, but...
So what we have to use, and pardon me, let me grab it because I keep it on a little tablet. We have a 3-part kind of talk through. So the first question we always address is, what am I learning today? So we always have something on our slides or our lessons, today I can. So they will start with understanding, by the end of today, you're going to be able to know how to do this. And then we have to explain why. So today I can write simple sentences. And then it's so that I can. And that's the next step. So why am I learning this? So that I can write clearly in English or whatever. And then the last one is, I will know that I've learned it. So I'll know I'm successful when. And that's that assessment piece. So that every class, all 3 of those things are set forth for them. And this is a Fayette County thing, not just a Bryan Station thing. But and I love it because for ELs it does a couple of things. It lessens the cognitive load. So they don't have to anticipate, crap, what am I supposed to learn today? What am I doing? What am I supposed to focus on? They are told very definitely at the beginning of the lesson, this is what your focus is. So yes, I might have a starter that's going to activate some background knowledge. Or yes, I might have a talk task because we've been writing for 10 minutes and I know you can't sit much longer. But ultimately the goal today is this. And so that also then as a teacher helps me really hone in on what do I want everything to point back to. In Fayette County high schools, we have mandated curriculums for math and English. I can use this framework to really focus in on what is the most important thing. Because every other sophomore English class is reading Macbeth too. So we're all doing this same text. But if I'm saying today I can, understand core vocabulary of Shakespeare, I'm only going to focus in on word comprehension. I'm not going to focus on the analysis or the evaluative or synthetic tasks that the rest of the sophomore English classes are focused on. I'm going to focus on vocabulary comprehension. And so then that kind of frees up a teacher like me to not feel so overwhelmed by this mandated curriculum, but instead to say, no, this is what my kids, this is the task we've got today, because I know that they've got to be able to understand this vocabulary to comprehend the next soliloquy. Boom, that's all I got to worry about.
So another thing I wanted to kind of dive into are some recommendations. So collaboration's, of course, like a very vital life skill that can be used in just here, but also in the workforce as well. So one thing I've learned about is like Twitter ed chats. I don't know if you've heard of those, but they're always easy to navigate. I like how you can talk, even if it's something that you may not feel the whole building can be a part of, but maybe just have professional developments there that they can actually read upon at their own leisure. And you can also use these type of ed chats for acknowledging teacher and staff achievement, so I liked that about that. Of course, Google Drive, always a great resource just because of how flexible, how fast it saves any time that you're working on something, and you can share it to anyone. So I liked those. And then as far as being more culturally responsive, I noticed that some of the walls in the hallways don't have that many like posters or paintings that kind of like represent culture as much. So I don't know if you guys have a hallway that has like the country's flags, but I think it'd be really cool to showcase that whenever they walk in, so they can kind of see, oh, this school kind of welcomes all cultures, not just the American culture. So, but like hanging those in the hallways. Also, to help get, not only do we have that, having a welcome sign in different languages, maybe like posted, in the actual front office area would be also something very helpful whenever students and families come in. I also have this book called Explain This to Me by Dr. Broady. I don't know if you've ever heard of this book, but it's a great resource just because the front office staff, or really anyone can look in here and they can see different parts, like if you wanted to support in school for you and your children, they could read about that in English, but they also have a translation in Spanish.
Okay, cool.
That I liked about it. And of course, if you go through the table of contents, if I can get to it, they have all kinds of things like people at school. They talk about what those are, the roles of parents, kind of like what to expect. So these are some of the things that they have that are in, of course, English and Spanish translation. And hopefully, as time gets better with language, then we can have other cultures translated as well. But other than that, do you have any questions or anything?
No.
Well, I appreciate you talking to me and listening to my recommendation.